This episode of the Cultcast show was recorded ahead of the tragic passing of Carrie Fisher. We'd like to extend our condolences to Carrie's family, but also celebrate all that Carrie did, both for Star Wars and for science fiction as a genre. She is a true screen icon that will forever live on in our hearts. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. You will be missed.
That's fine. Okay, welcome to the Cultcast show. Today we're going to be talking about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It follows Jyn and the Rebel Alliance, who get the Death Star plans. It's the events before A New Hope, but I'm sure you already know that. And to start off, we're going to talk about what's good and what's bad about the film. So first, I would like to go to Dylan and see what his points are. What was good about the film, DJ?
That's fine. I'm not even sure what I'm using anymore.
You've always been DJ until just now.
Yeah.
You got outed.
DJ has been revealed. Got it.
Basically, I'm gonna do my overall impressions first. So, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is a mixed bag. So, there were parts of the film that it absolutely excelled at. I wouldn't say specifically action and the visuals, but there were many areas where it was possibly the worst Star Wars film. Specifically characterizations and the atrocious pacing, which was beyond atrocious. It was kind of a bit of a parody in parts.
Thank you.
But for a bit of perfunctory cinema, that's a word I've pulled out the bag and I saved all year. It was slick and entertaining, and it did successfully deliver on adding something new to Star Wars. So that's why it got a 3 out of 5 from me, which is still pretty good, given I rarely give anything above 4 out of 5.
And what was your Force Awakens? Was that a 3 out of 5 too?
Yeah,
That was a 3. Yeah, it was a 3 out of 5. Yeah.
So
this
both.
but I preferred
Star
the
Wars
Force
film.
Awakens though to Rogue One in a
Okay.
kind of bizarre twist of events which I didn't expect. Yeah. So that was my overall impression.
I unexpectedly found myself wanting to watch The Force Awakens again after watching this, and my first impression of The Force Awakens wasn't great, but I thought maybe I preferred it to this film. But anyway, let's get on to Maka and see how passionate he is about Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Overall impressions. Yeah.
Simply put, I fucking loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic from the moment it started to the moment it ended. It just blew me away. It was Empire good. That's how I'd rate this film. It was Empire good. Fucking phenomenal piece of cinema.
You mean Empire the movie or Empire the magazine? Because that
Empire
kind of gone
Strikes
down
Back.
recently. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a type.
Yeah, that's a big call.
That's a Dan Baker comment there, right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking ruined my movie for me.
Well, I think
For fun.
Just so everyone knows, that means that it kind of was like, oh yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do film. It's a Disney film. It was a that'll do film.
yeah, it kind of feels like that. Feels like it is just another like action franchise from Walt
I
Disney.
can't look at Maka. I feel so
But,
guilty.
So
I knew you were going to ruin my movie as soon as you
Like
put
I-
out your pages.
I
you
feel
have
like
to- you have
I
to
started
wait.
dating and then dumped his sister or something. It's like,
You have
can't
to
look
wait.
at him. Oh, God.
Well, like my biggest concern, with this film, I thought, well, the film,
Well, no, okay, overall impressions.
overall impression, like I thought, I was worried that the film, that it doesn't feel independent enough, like it isn't left field enough for a spin-off of the franchise. So my concern was that it wouldn't feel independent enough to be its own franchise, and it isn't relative enough to justify its importance to the overall Star Wars saga. Like, do we actually need this story? So that was my biggest concern, and I agree with DJ. Probably about a 3-star film. But the more I think about it, the more I actually like it. So yeah, my overall impressions.
3 stars is still pretty damn good.
5.
Because I mean, think of it this way: most films are a 2.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the films we've reviewed this year, I probably would give a 2, maybe a 3 on some. But Like
That's because you're
X-Men
trying to be like the
X-Men
Simon Cowell.
No,
of
but like even X-Men
podcast
Apocalypse
world.
is like a 2 out of 5 in my opinion.
Mm.
So like most films aren't that great. So the fact I thought it was good, 3 out of 5 for me is a good.
Okay. Well, the things that I like.
4 out of 5 is a great. 5 out of 5 is a masterpiece. There've been no 5 out of 5 films this year.
This
Okay, for you, yeah.
Fantastic Beasts was pretty close.
Creed.
4 out of 5 for me, I'd say.
Yeah.
Creed. I think that was a 5 out of 5.
Man, when did that come out?
January.
Fucking hell. It's been a year, isn't it, though? Yeah, it was a...
But yeah,
But we're kind of skipping ahead,
Breaking
breaking the fourth wall,
Oh.
going into our next podcast then. So let's keep it.
So yeah,
Rogue One.
the things I really liked about this film is I really enjoyed the way they set up the Rebel Alliance. There was a lot of really good ideas in here. We've been convinced with the mythology of Star Wars. I mean, concerned with the mythology of Star Wars and Jedi's and the Skywalker family. And it was nice to get a break from that and focus on the small fry. Yeah, the human element exactly going on, and I think there was a lot of brave and good ideas in the film, and like a lot of science fiction stuff, it tackled some real world stuff which I kind of enjoyed. Like I like the idea that the Rebel Alliance, when you meet the Rebel Alliance, it's splintered almost into several different groups. The Rebel Alliance almost feels to me like a little bit like it's terror groups sort of in the Middle East. You got like this empire, and you've got these groups that they've all got the same agenda. They want to bring down the empire, but they all go about it in different ways. Some are more moderate, the others are more extreme. And Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Gerrera, he was given the rebellion a bad name because he was so ruthless, and like his introduction and his group as well was very similar. What I'd imagine is, remind me almost like the Taliban, like in the desert, the way they kidnap that guy and take him to their place, and those sort of elements I really enjoyed. And there's this overall theme about the Death Star. Is actually, I was worried that this was just going to be, this is another Death Star. We've seen the Death Star 3 times now in the Star Wars franchise, but they've finally given it a character of its own. It's more of a nuclear weapon. We see it blowing up like towns, and and then testing it. And I think that the thing that was missed in the original Star Wars film, A New Hope, when I still call that the original, even though it's the fourth one now in the franchise, was that this Death Star blows up a planet and all the millions of people die, and it feels like, okay, we just move on with it. But now we actually see the real impact of this weapon and how it affects that this is real people that are being murdered here. We go to that town and we see the fam. There's a little girl that's running across the road when the insurgents are taking on the soldiers. I call them like insurgents, right? And Jin saves the little girl, but moments later she's going to get blown to smithereens. It was all for nothing. There's a desperation in the rebellion, and the what's the character's name? Played by Diego Luna, Cassian. That beginning, that I really didn't expect that scene where that guy was they were trapped, and he killed him because he knew that if the Empire would capture the spy, because he only had one arm, so he couldn't climb out of the alley that they were locked into, and he knew that if he got questioned or tortured or give away his location, so that ruthlessness, and desperation of the rebellion was emphasized a lot more. So it's a lot more grown up, rather than just having the goodies equal the rebellion, the baddies equal the Empire, And even the Empire, their order. You see, Mads Mikkelsen when he's having dinner with his family, and it's the Empire. It's a side of the Empire that I haven't seen. It's not a dark castle which is in the film, ironically, with Darth Vader. It's not it's not the dark Sith and it's gloomy. There he is playing with his kids. The house looks clean. They look comfortable. Yeah, exactly. Just like you see, I would imagine, the Nazis having tea and cake and playing with their being with their families while these atrocities are going on, which seem far away. So it was a lot more grown up. and then The Force Awakens, it was definitely way more like Grown than The Force Awakens. So that's why, as I say, I came out the film, I was thinking, I enjoyed The Force Awakens more because I liked the because I liked that mythology, and I think I was attached to the characters a lot more than I was with these guys. But maybe I wasn't supposed to be attached with these guys because, like Maka said to me earlier, these are this is essentially a war movie, and these are just soldiers on the battlefront that are going to die anyway. So I think it was better, and I actually think it's one of the best of the Star Wars franchises. I'm probably going to say it's probably my second favorite one after The Empire Strikes Back. I still think Empire Strikes Back.
Third favorite. No, second favorite.
Second, I still say Empire Strikes Back is the pinnacle. Like you would,
Then who was his first favorite? Empire.
There's not.
second
Empire
favorite
is
after
his
the Empire
favourite.
Strikes.
Oh, okay, I get
Yeah.
it now. Yeah. Okay.
So the Empire Strikes Back is the pinnacle of the Star Wars universe. I mean, you never reenact that. Everything just came together perfectly. It's dark. It's got a good story. The chemistry between the characters is really strong.
Even the performance.
Yeah, but stronger than they were in this one. Sometimes I did feel that it jumped a bit. Things I didn't like. It jumped from one action scene to one action scene to one action scene. Like DJ said, the pace was a little bit off for me. I don't know if that's to do with the fact they went back and reshot 40% of the film or whatever, or but there was a little bit of a pacing issue. And like I said, that attachment to the characters meant that I didn't invest that much time in the main characters. By the time Cassian and Jin have their first kiss, I really didn't care. Did they have a kiss? I'm sure they kissed or something. No,
No.
with held hands. Yeah,
The only embrace they have is when Scarif is being destroyed and they know they're going to die, so he holds her as comfort. As
okay, all right, yeah.
Plane.
But I didn't really care that much, and I didn't really care when the two Chinese actors, they were really cool actually. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm enjoying this film. And there's references to some great films like Apocalypse Now and like The Dirty Dozen and like Full Metal Jacket. Like there's all those war films. There's those beach landings with the stormtroopers, a bit like Saving Private Ryan. Like this. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a war film, and it's based in Star Wars. It's based in the Star Wars universe, and it's my second favorite of the franchise. I'm a lot more pleased with this one than I was with The Force Awakens. Okay, DJ.
In your monologue there, you've gone from had two different opinions on this film.
Yeah.
It's good though, I guess.
Yeah.
Like talking about it, you remember it, but
all my points.
I'm remembering it. Yeah.
but the fact that you have to remember it to remember that you liked it, I'm just the point there. I'm observing shady fact.
No, I think that's
not
just
really.
you digging and trying
Yeah.
to troll to bring everybody down to your
You can't
opinion.
start it really like, oh, it wasn't as good as possible, and then by the end go, oh, I enjoyed it more than Force Awakens.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it more than it, I think.
It's like
I think too, a lot of what Kieran Parsons is what you're going by in this. So I thought what Parsons.
he's gone through every name under the sun on this fucking
Lady
podcast.
So,
Gaga, whatever you like.
So what Parsons, a lot of what Parsons said, I completely agree with. But I would add to that kind of specific things I thought were really well. So what I thought was the action sequences. I think they let them shape kind of what the third act of the film was. So if you kind of break it down into sequence of different action sequences, I thought it was really thrilling, and I thought that was kind of standout. And the way it did the space battle, which was half space battle, half atmosphere battle, was quite cool. So yeah, for a planet that didn't exist before this film, they really did establish it quite well. And kind of the way that it's a bit like I can't criticize J.J. Abrams for doing kind of weird science, but this film had a planet which had a force field around it, which kind of doesn't really exist in the Star Wars universe. But I don't know, I didn't really care too much that it didn't exist. I thought it was quite well done how it was done. So then the third act in general I thought was really good. I think actually when I look back on the film, it's probably the most memorable bit. I've forgotten what there are another 2/3 of the film which were kind of quite forgettable. But the third pretty much, well, you disagree. But the third one pretty much, it was A to B plot. They needed to get the plans, and then they knew they might not escape really, but they did kind of have a plan to escape. So it didn't do the silly thing of not really showing that. It showed like what they were intended to do and how they were being thwarted by the Empire at every sort of moment. And I think that credit goes to Tony Gilroy, who directed all those scenes. So they've not officially said what was reshot, what wasn't, but you can kind of work out from what isn't in the film but was in all the trailers and even on the poster. And it seems to be the entire third act and most of the rebel.
I
I think
think a
he
lot of
came
those-
in and done the guerrilla attack on Jeddah.
No,
Right, that's got Tony Gilroy.
I'll tell you why. I
over
don't
it.
think that. I'll tell you why that I don't think that was reshot. The same second and the thing. So
I don't think it was reshot. I think that's just purely him come in and shot that. Not reshot, just shot.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is assumption, like that what was and what wasn't, unless
Well, no, we'll know in
until we're
January.
100, yeah, till 100% clear, you can't
yeah,
really
well,
tell.
well,
But
basically,
there's definitely like
the
there's
story-
Gareth Edwards. There's definitely his
Yeah, but I
influence.
don't-
There's definitely a stamp in there. Those ideas in the first place, like I said, like with the rebellion not being a crystal clear.
No, but
goodies like the ones that were in The Force Awakens.
That stuff, yeah, would be his entirely. But the
Yeah.
stuff like I know people you've made all the references to war films and that, but I mean, it seems it's more of a kind of it worked as actually once it worked as it was, and so the reshoot probably
Yeah,
was a very good idea.
That's a
But
homage
originally,
to
what the
those
film would have
films.
been is very different. And if we scroll through our Facebook page and we see all AIB people that worked on the film, none of the shit they filmed was in the film. So yeah, it was the uni we went to. So it's like a lot of things that we have friends that were in the film as some of the android robots, and none of their scenes were in it. That black astromech droid wasn't in it. The black R2D2, everything, the shitloads cut from the third act.
All the black droids.
Darth Vader wasn't on Scarif. I mean, that's.
You don't need Darth
I know,
Vader
but I'm
Scarif.
saying that's a big thing to change, though.
No, because that last.
Yeah, but I'll come to that. But saying it is a big thing to change. But I think they changed it for the better because the way the third act is the thing I had no issues with at all, and I think it was great. Visually, I think the film was outstanding. I think like one thing that this film does that kind of harkens to the prequel trilogy is a transition film. Then the original is these big vista shots, which you don't get in the original simply because they couldn't do them, or when they did, they weren't very good. They were matte paintings, so you could tell they weren't real. So they never really did them in the original films. Force Awakens stylistically didn't do too many of them either, but this one had loads. Like every single planet that we were introduced to had these huge, amazing shots that are just kind of spectacular. And then the way the camera was done is very big and swooping, and even though it has that, you're trying to say it's a war film and has that grittiness, there were moments where it just said, fuck that style, and we're just going to do something quite epic. And that was good. And to me,
But they
that's
combine
kind
even those
so they
bits.
swapped it around.
So
but
it feels like they've gone like sorry to interrupt, but it's on the same subject. If I was worried that they were going to go back and rehash it and it wasn't going to like fit together like Suicide Squad was, where you get like two films like slumped together and it doesn't fit. But they've done a good job, I think. That the transition between like what was shot before and the reshoots, it goes together quite smoothly.
I mean, you can break it down into reshoots and stuff, and I think once they make all that footage and stuff available, which they're going to do, they will do that. We just at the time we're recording this is December 22nd, so 2016. So we know in a month's time, the Lucasfilm Group have already said they're planning something. There may very well be a re-release of the film, similar to how Superman 2 was done with two different versions.
Okay.
Would it be
the Richard Donner version?
Yeah, and the exact same shoot.
Are they going to do a director's cut as well for Gareth Edwards or?
We don't. No, they've not discussed it yet. But they're going to properly have
So
because there's
at this point.
so there will be. So we've not yet know any. That's what I'm saying. We don't know yet. But by the time you might be listening to this at home, it will be fully known. We just don't know yet. So again, the last thing I thought was excellent, and actually I'm going to say perhaps one of my favorite things. Now, when I was writing my notes and looking back on it, and I probably I'm looking at what I posted on Reddit for the last week and a half, or 2 weeks. I don't know how long it's been out for.
You've been trolling this film all year.
No, I haven't. Actually, what I said is I said it will either be one of the best or terrible.
No, you didn't.
I did. I did say that. He said it's either going to be
Yeah, he did, I think
amazing
he
as
said
fuck,
No.
or it's going to be
As soon
awful.
as this was announced, you were like, "It's trolling." You
I don't
need
think
to
the
make
film.
a
I don't
movie
think.
of this.
Oh
film.
no, the film doesn't need to exist at all entirely. I
You
would
can
say
say
that
that about
today.
most movies.
There's nothing. Yeah, but no, this film
Is it
actually
almost like a vanity project?
has
Sorry.
no. This film has. If this film never came out, my life would have no change to it. It would literally no difference whatsoever.
It's a bit like like Han
When
Solo.
Force
film.
Awakens, even Force Awakens to an extent, like it's not had. I mean, who gives a fuck if they never make that film? It wouldn't make a difference. It doesn't have a. I know you want it, but there was no need for it. They've just done it because there's a market and opportunity. But I'm saying that's just so this is even that. That's why it is at the end of the day, and it's a positive. It could have just been a filler film, and they went, let's make it something a bit more. So that's the point I'm saying that it did add something to Star Wars. They didn't need to, and for all I know, I mean, it's changed my opinion on what the Han Solo film could be. Because another films are like, who fucking wants a Han Solo? Who wants a Han Solo movie? Like, no one's ever asked for that, especially when the character's fucking dead. Who cares? But it's like no one's asked for that film, but it could be very good because this film was quite good. So I'm not. It's changed my attitude to that. Now, the thing I thought was the great of this, and I will say it is probably what it achieved the best out of everything. Action scenes great, whatever, but it put in ideas and references that weren't nostalgic wink winks or member berry type shit. And it's kind of when someone watches this film, and if you know all the expanded universe and all this shit, then perhaps slightly different appreciation from it. So I don't know, maybe you guys would have a clue about any of this stuff, but the flashback scene when they're on Coruscant is a huge deal. Someone like me, because the worst thing is when people go, "Oh, why did the Empire exist? Because the people on Coruscant had a very fucking cushy life. They were enjoying it. So even though all the shit was going on in the poorer areas of the Star Wars galaxy,
Our region,
the inner rim was loving life under the Empire.
A bit like,
and we saw that, and that's why it took Galen God knows how long to even pull his finger out of his ass and do something about the Death Star. He waited until the end of it being built, and the reason why is he was enjoying life. So why
You
would
didn't
he?
necessarily wait to the end because something that big,
Yeah,
you
but,
have to program in
Yeah,
his views from the start.
but I would say like there's
Because you can't build
But
a
that's why he
planet-sized
apologized.
weapon
That's why
station
he
without
apologized. Yeah,
putting that in at the
but
start.
that's why he apologized. He did say oh, I don't know the exact line, but he seemed to make an apology about it. And that's fun. But I was saying it was good that they actually bloody addressed it. And so in a canon film, it's one thing doing on a TV show, it's another thing doing it in a movie. That was great. Then obviously I assumed that Mustafar would be in the film simply because Rebels had already established that Darth Vader has a castle there, and it's where he actually in the show and in the comics takes any Jedi that he finds. You don't exactly know what he does with them, so you don't know if he kills them or he turns them into Inquisitors or Sith. But that castle has a lot of people in it. We only saw the tip of it, so I'm fairly certain that's a huge thing in episode
Vader
8.
movie? We're going to see a
And
Vader
9.
movie?
No, there won't be a Vader movie, but they will. I think that building will have a big. I hope it is in episode 8 and 9.
I think it is.
Well,
I've heard
it's
it
rumoured
is.
to be in episode 7.
It's in the art books, yeah.
That was what the final act was going to be, episode 7. It wasn't going to be the Starkiller base or whatever it's called. It was going to be a launch on Kylo Ren at his castle where she takes over from Darth Vader after he dies.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the
That's where
artwork
what's his face?
the castle was in the episode 8
Snoke
artwork
as well.
And originally in the Rey's flashback in episode 7, we were going to see the castle, but they cut it out or they trimmed it. You just see the volcano background. You don't see the actual castle. So yeah, that was amazing. One thing which is kind of, I watched Star Wars Rebels. I don't think it's particularly amazing, but I've watched every episode and I watch all the behind the scenes. So I'm probably one of their fans, even though I think it's a pale imitation of Clone Wars. But this film did some things that are amazing. So obviously you watch Rebels and you'll be like, oh wow, like they actually had that. So we saw Chopper on screen. Most people just think it's a robot, but it was actually the main robot from Rebels. It addressed Hera, and it did something which I noticed, and then I didn't want to say, and it's going to blow these two's minds in a minute when I say it later in the what's next. But I noticed it. A lot of people had noticed it. I'm going to say it later. So that's what I think worked, and that was fucking awesome. So there were some amazing things.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit hesitant to go, oh, it's the best film ever, because in a year's time, The Force Awakens was the best film ever this time last year, so God knows what other people think in a year.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'd say-
I hate film criticism as a concept now, because what the
But
fuck
you're
matters?
you're hosting a podcast based around film criticism.
I know. So I'm the anti-film critic doing the film critic, because it's like, what's the point in having an opinion? I'm just gonna like, this is what I feel now. In a year's time, I'll do another one and say that's
You've
what I feel
just
then.
completely.
Oh my God, Six
killed
Down,
our
if we
project.
went back to
You
Six
got
Down's
us-
opinion on the, just saying it from a year ago, Force Awakens to now.
Yeah.
I mean, I could in a year's time, I could say this is the best fucking Star Wars film. Sit your ass down, Mac, and saying Empire's better, you twat. I could say that to you. I don't know anymore.
There's no
I
need-
don't trust my own judgment.
There's no need to bring this up.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, yeah.
Come on, man. Name tag.
I know.
Name tag.
I'm sorry, Chubb.
Okay, Maka. The mic is being passed to you now, Maka. Come on.
Right. As you gather from my opening statements, I fucking love this film.
Oh really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I wouldn't have
Fuck
known.
knows.
I wouldn't have known.
The swearing.
No one would have known I was
We've
a
got
Star
an
Wars
E
fan before
explicit on
this.
this, so don't worry.
We already got an explicit rating.
I know.
All of our things. Even our
It's like every
12-21
second
for
word.
fantastic.
Did you not hear our fantastic beats how it ended? Because
No.
I
didn't listen
he
to it,
put the
mate.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, did you put the Colin Farrell?
It goes from like PG to 15,
X-rated and
18,
PG-13.
It's more than PG-13, mate. But no, everyone's addressed the fact that this was a good combination of old-time war film mixed with a Dirty Dozen, and that's why I think it worked so well.
It's a western, isn't it? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
probably a war western.
I'd say the originals were more like.
I guess it's kind of like the character what A New Hope was coming out as, when it came out, went for that kind of style before they knew it was going to be a franchise,
Another reason this film worked for me that these two haven't addressed yet, and by that smirk, I think Dylan or DJ already knows what I'm going to say, is they brought Peter Cushing back to life. I thought that was amazing.
I've got hang-ups on that.
No, it was quality, and they didn't. It was a build on what they'd done in Civil War when they made Robert Downey Jr. look like he was in Weird Science still.
And Paul Walker in Fast Food.
Yeah. Whereas a bit blocky there, this one it doesn't look fantastic, it doesn't look amazing, but it looks so good. And I thought they'd like keep it distant shots, like keeping kind of in shadow a little bit, but no,
From behind.
they move in, they give them close-ups. He's in this movie more than he's in episode 4, and he's fucking been dead since the 70s.
He's a great actor, though.
Yeah,
Such a
and
good actor.
other things that I liked about this is the fact that they used unused footage from A New Hope to build like the battles. You got the original Red Leader, you got the original Gold Leader. Just little things like that.
That's
come
real
in.
footage. They
That's
use it.
real footage.
I thought so, 'cause I thought, geez, they look
episode 4.
immaculate. I didn't know that.
They cut
Yeah,
them, they cut
yeah.
and pasted them into the.
So it does have a lot of winks, really.
This movie,
But then
It's-
they're not telling the audience, oh, look
It's
what
a-
we've done.
Oh, right,
it
yeah.
is a fan service movie by all interpretations of it, but it doesn't go down the road of a fan service movie.
Okay.
So yeah, it's got its little nods and winks, and it's played off a sentence from the original movies, but it goes off on its own. It's not all lightsabers and the Force and what Star Wars normally is.
Yeah.
It's quite different,
Yeah.
which was good because, as you said in your things, as much as I love Star Wars, I love the philosophy behind the Force and the Jedi and the Sith. You don't need that in every movie, and you can build out in this galaxy because there's so much you can do in the galaxy.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars universe.
And I tell you what one thing I like most about the film is I like Felicity Jones. I thought she was brilliant. I thought she was really good. I thought she was a great
I
lead
agree. I
actress.
think this is another thing that's built on.
And it was much better than like Ray
No,
in
No,
Force
no,
Awakens.
no, no.
I think so.
No.
she's a good character to add to this universe.
She's
And there's
just-
another thing I liked about this film is everyone knows that what's going to happen at the end of this movie. Everyone knows that they're all going to die.
But that's
Ooh.
like any war film,
No,
I guess.
not necessarily.
Usually, you know.
No, not necessarily. Saving Private Ryan, you thought Tom Hanks was going to get out alive.
Oh yeah, so you mean.
But right, everyone went into this movie. Okay, let me rephrase that. Star Wars fans went into this movie knowing how it was going to end. They knew all the main characters were going to die, and that
But
maybe not
sometimes-
get attached to too much of them. But I found myself kind of bonding with a few of these characters. I didn't like Cassian. I thought he was a bit
too
was-
flimsy. Like,
No, not
really.
flimsy.
Whatever the story needed him to be.
Yeah,
he was a little
very
bit
soon, like, a little
flamboyant,
bit.
and then he was a bit
But I think that's a reshoot bullshit as well. And
because
that's where I
his
have to say
entrance
that.
Yeah,
when
'cause he
he
was a
first
bit
meets
rude, 'cause-
Jin he's a bit flamboyant. He walks in, he's posturing, he's got his arms crossed in his chest, and then you got the other scene where
Broken Soul type
he's talking to the rebel, the
in the alleyway.
Empire spy in the alleyway that you were talking about,
Yeah.
and he's a ruthless bastard.
Yeah.
And now the two, they don't.
Yeah, he's the same person when he's going to shoot Mads Mikkelsen, right?
Yeah.
He's that.
But he's a
he's
different
that guy.
person.
But then I would have preferred him taking the shot than him. Where did that conscience come from? It seems like that would be that for me. That was a little bit of poor writing. I thought like he should have took that shot and they should have kept him as this sort of grey area, character. Like as like a ruthless
Just like
as a soldier,
Because
doing his job.
He's a rebel spy. He's an infiltrator. He's meant to go in, get information, and get out.
Yeah, he felt too. It felt too quickly for him to suddenly feel sympathetic towards her. Yeah,
I don't think he had a great arc in the film where Felicity Jones. You see her. I know from the trailers, you say her arc in the story has changed from being
But they no, I think they
from being
say
like a disillusion.
her character. They have to decide. Look, do we try and save everyone, or do we just put focus on her? So
Yeah.
they added a lot of scenes that they
But
changed
I-
obviously the opening entire
Like I
opening
was
scenes
trying
new.
to say, it's
Yeah.
like in the trailer, she looks like she's wanted the rebels already,
Yeah.
and she's kind of done with it all. But I like the change in pace in the character where she was fighting for Saw Gerrera from a young age. He even says, "You were my best soldier,"
Yeah,
and then he just leaves her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then this is what puts the change in her mind that she don't want
She's got
nothing
this
to do
sort of-
with the Empire. She don't want nothing to do with the rebellion. She just wants to fucking see out the rest of her days doing what she's got to do to get by.
like a female Han Solo kind of. She just gets
Yeah,
caught
I
up
mean,
in it,
I'd- yeah.
And I
mean,
thought she
yeah.
she played it off really well. I mean,
I think
'cause
the acting
she
is
does.
really good. She's got a,
She's fantastic.
she's got a cute
I had
hamster
an issue
cheeks.
with
Like,
because in Inferno
so-
she was terrible.
I thought she was good in Inferno
Just
for the same reasons. She's playing Tom Hanks's character, thinking, yeah, she's here to help him, but she's not. She's helping. I can't think of the actor's name.
the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
Yeah, I just think she's so hammy sometimes, but I think she's good though. I liked her in the one she got Oscar on for. She won an Oscar for, and then got when she.
Theory of Everything.
Yeah, I liked her. That with Robbie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne.
You're thinking of Robbie Amell.
Oh,
and the shout out to the other characters. They all had their own quirks. Really, we didn't get enough
Yeah.
time with them.
Well,
a
do
little
Do you know
bit.
what? I got to say,
But they were
Alan
int-
Tudyk,
yeah.
KCSO, is that it?
Oh yeah,
He was a fucking scene stealer.
yeah, he was.
Every
really
time
good.
he
Yeah.
come on,
Finally, a
I-
droid that I can enjoy fucking seeing. There isn't.
BB-8,
There is well, no,
R2.
there's something that isn't cute and rolling around making
But
beeping
yeah.
sounds or
I thought he was.
Camp
His
Robot.
entrance.
It was really annoying. Speaking of
He's,
Joe.
he's got that sarcasm and his fucking quality.
Yeah.
The entrance where she's trying to escape
It's
shit,
the
and he
one-
just grabs her by the face and slams her on the floor. You're being rescued. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, he did. The jokes were on point, and it was it was the first interesting droid character
Yeah.
I've had in the whole of the Star Wars universe.
And I think that this film needed it because if you don't
And
have
his death
that
was the most
character,
dramatic.
yeah.
He had a bloody heroic death.
If
He
you
went
don't have
down.
his character as well, the film is very doom and gloom.
Yeah,
There's
very
none
serious.
of that
You,
comedic break,
yeah.
and you need that. Even Donnie Yen gives you a bit of the comedy.
Yeah,
Like,
I liked his coolness, and he
He's
was
so cool.
aware of everything that's all going on around him.
And I don't know if you two picked up on it, but because I know you're both massive Star Wars fans, but he mentions the Wills.
Yeah.
This was the original title for Star Wars,
General Boyles.
General of the Wills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it
So
called?
the planet that the Jeddah is where the Wills are, which is kind of a prophecy for the Jedi Order was kind of
Oh, I
going off
see.
there. So they had people who were Force sensitive but weren't Jedi's protecting it.
Like
But then-
Donnie Yen's character.
But the Empire destroyed all of that, so there's nothing to protect now. So they're just kind of wanderers.
But yeah, like you said, the going back to, I think, I mentioned it already, but I just want to re-say it again. Like, it really enriched the Star Wars universe for me. And like you said, like, in all the Star Wars movies, even the latest one that was in there, you've got baddies and goodies. It's very clear, between the two.
There's a lot of great.
Yeah, it was nice to see, like you said, in Coruscant, for example, they're having a good time. Or the Empire, and the Outer Rim is almost, it's like I say, it does what all good science fiction does. It puts up a mirror to like the world, like that we live in. So you got the Empire, which is, like you said, like the West, where things seem to be going. People are happy of where they are. And you've got the Outer Rim, which is sort of, like our war zones, like Aleppo and the Middle East, so it's sort of, like that's the best sci-fi mirrors like what is going on at the moment, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. And it felt that the universe felt more realistic because of that. It wasn't just I felt like I wasn't watching a fantasy where Jedis were fighting Siths and there was and it was big elaborate spaceship battles. I liked the dogged space battle in the end. It wasn't over the top. I mean, in The Force Awakens, there's a
very
elaborate battle that's just there for the sake of, okay, well, we need a star battle. It's Star Wars. Let's throw it in there. Do you know what I mean?
But I thought the dogfights and everything in The Force Awakens were handled really well.
They were, but I didn't know why they were in there. Do you know what I mean?
You needed them in there to destroy the Starkiller base.
Yeah, but the Starkiller base was like a planet with a beam. Didn't you just need to take the codes on the bottom? I can't remember it, but it was a big, like you said, it was a member buried.
Starkiller base had a trench. For whatever reason, they built a trench. It's not like, originally the trench made sense in A New Hope because it was a trench. But like
Galen Erso built it in there.
But here they had a trench in Starkiller base just for the sake of it. Why not? I don't know. Making so sound in hindsight.
But this felt like, it was like a suicide mission. It was like you say, like in a war film. It was just, we're probably gonna die, but we're all gonna sacrifice ourselves just to get this code. Just for a hope. Yeah. So for that,
which was the last one.
I enjoyed
the movie.
This is.
I have one last point I want to add
on what you liked.
Yeah, on what I liked. Okay, so this film in 2 minutes redeemed the baddest man in the fucking galaxy.
I knew it was insane.
Because over the years, since the prequels come about, Darth Vader has become quite a cuddly villain.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
This film goes to show, in 2 minutes of screen time, it takes him 2 hours to spark up a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah.
And in that, you see why everyone fears this man, and his entrance onto that ship was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good.
No,
yes.
No, I think it was a very good scene, but I actually think this film probably did. Basically got a point. Darth Vader was fucked over.
No, he wasn't.
And I'm not the only one who thinks this. I know I think on that, and I'll tell you why. That scene's good, very good. But the build up to that scene, everything it did to establish Darth Vader up to that point, made him out to be, I'm going to quote myself here, a lackey and a bitch.
Well, he is fucking...
That's all he is.
He's Emperor Palpatine's bitch. Essentially, he's a tech dog for Emperor Palpatine.
That fucking sucks. Why would you make Darth Vader that?
But he wasn't in Empire, because he was telling Luke, "Come join me."
He wasn't.
He was saying, "Join me, and we'll rule the galaxy, father and son."
Disney and Rebels is the worst thing about his character in Rebels. He's literally like just one of 100 bitches that work for the Empire.
Because I know
because before he was this
novels that they've just released about Darth Vader.
Marvel,
after the events of A New Hope, Palpatine blames Darth Vader for everything that's gone wrong,
and tries and sets a bounty on anyone that can kill Darth Vader to keep his game up.
Yeah, but also he's always trying to undercut the Emperor, because like all Sith, they say they're just waiting to kill their master and replace him, and that's what in the original trilogy. the original
Saga.
Saga. He was that was his agenda, was he was going to recruit Luke because he knew that his power was running out and he wanted to be the emperor, and we were going to rule the galaxy as father and son. It would have been more interesting to have more.
No, I'm just saying. No, I know this is. Okay,
but it would have.
When you say that sentence, you have to do
I
this.
do agree with DJ on this actually.
I have a problem with it, but it's like they've gone down a route.
He was
that
too
I didn't
subtle.
think.
He wasn't strong enough in his one-on-one scenes with that general. Like you should have seen him like in Empire. You know when in Empire Strikes Back, when you make a mistake, you're literally shitting yourself when you have to go up to him. He's going to kill you.
Yeah,
He got off very lively.
Krennic was dissing him.
Yeah.
Can you Krennic look like a
Can you book
bitch?
me in for a meeting with Palpatine or something? He was like,
Yeah.
as if he was a receptionist.
No, he's like, are you going to tell Palpatine
like a
what I've
secretary.
done? And he's like, and he starts force choking him. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that's
I just-
secretary like.
The thing is,
Yeah,
He
but
starts choking the fuck out of
Yeah,
him.
but
I
you've
think
seen it
it's like
before, so
the
it's
guy
kind of.
doesn't. This
And he even quips a pun.
Yeah, I don't choke on your ambitions. I'm like, what?
But the last scene was badass.
Yeah,
I meant
last
that.
scene was
I waited my
insane.
whole life to
Yeah.
see like that.
Yeah, because
him
in
just
the
kill
original
the shit out of
films,
people.
Darth Vader's very lumbering and he's pained in his movements. With this, he moves like a fucking badass.
Only now.
The
It's like 20
only
minutes.
reason he moves like that is because it's Dave Prowse and he's got fucking joint problems and everything.
Did he have drug problems in the 70s?
Yeah.
Why was he Darth Vader then?
Because he was the only
Huge.
person
Falling
that
around.
big and that wide to play the role.
Like, it could have been a puppet. It would have been probably
No, it
more
wouldn't.
fluid. It's like the problem is okay. So I'm going to do what I didn't think worked because we talked great and stuff. And the only reason I'm not giving it five, whatever, is because to me these are like fundamental things, and I'm not trying to shit on the film.
Yes, you are.
But no, I think
sure.
these. I think I'm quite
Let get his opinion
quite
out.
clear.
Come
I
on.
think it. So
Go ahead.
yeah, I said the tone and pacing were uneven, and I actually like. The first 2/3 of the film, and we've talked about it for an hour now or something, but I still can't really remember too much of what happened. They went from a desert planet, which I couldn't give a shit about any more desert planets. So it was like, but it was good, but like, I don't know, Jeddah, to someone, if they didn't tell you it's Jeddah, I'd think it was the same Jakku and whatever. Like, they could be on the same fucking planet. There's not much difference between them. They make out they do lots of difference between them, but no, there isn't really. So it's just another desert planet.
But
and
there's going to be
entire
lots of
galaxy.
desert planets in the outer rim, isn't there?
Yeah, but
Do you know what I mean?
Because
It's
the
like
reason
there's
the
lots of
desert
deserts on
planets-
Earth, isn't there? There's not one.
You
There's
used
quite
to
a lot.
drew the comparison to the Outer Rim. There's a reason the desert planets.
Yeah, but Outer Rim could have a water planet. It could have a planet.
There is a water planet.
Yeah, no, there is on the Outer Rim as well.
No, I'm not talking about that.
It's like,
There is a water planet because that's where all the clones of
yeah, I
Jango
know.
were
It
made.
could be any. That was even more. That was beyond the Outer Rim. So I'm saying like it doesn't need to be another desert planet. I'm saying like it didn't, and it was cool, but like where I was just one more desert. It's like,
Desert's cheap.
there's more. Yeah, I know it's cheap to film it, but it's just like. And that's like Death Stars, desert planet, same fucking.
A lot of
tropes.
this was like you can see was shot locationally and all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
It was
kind
shot
of
on
fine.
Jeddah.
It was.
No, I mean like the Skirith was Panama.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jeddah
but,
was
I mean,
Tunisia.
they-
Oh, okay,
and
yeah, so
then
they're
obviously, and then they
different
recreated a lot of
Yeah,
sets
yeah.
in Pinewood. So it's
And then
quite
they
cool.
used green
Yeah.
screen afterwards to put
Yeah.
like AT&T.
But okay, so you guys talked about the characters. Now, Jin, I put here they reshoots or even maybe it's just good editing or whatever they've done. They saved Jin's character really, and I say that because they gave her a bit of bite. Like she wasn't just a rebel that got slapped on the wrist.
And
She was-
just a pretty face.
Yeah, they gave her
She
actually
is still-
more to do, and she could have very easily just been a cheap female Han Solo for like head, but she actually was quite interesting. So there, but every other character, I can't even. I mean, and
Don't say nothing about my droid.
Kira, the droid, yeah, he was
and don't say anything
good.
bad about the two Chinese guys. 'Cause they were
What?
good.
They were good, but what the hell was their character? What was it like? What did they really?
They're the priests of the old temple.
But I don't
The
know
temple
what
had
they
been destroyed.
did though. They were just like I'm just like I don't know. He couldn't see and he was a good fighter, but like what did they actually add to the story?
But they need
He's
they've
the
got
one that's
Chinese funding. They need to approach it.
Yeah, they need
He
need
turned
China
the switch
to
on for the
as
thing.
well,
Put
yeah.
the power to the
They
King
put
of
him
Tower.
they put him talking about the film before the trailer, in the trailer for Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just purely because they need Chinese market. It's like it's cool, but like
It's about time Donnie Yen got into a Hollywood movie.
yeah, oh dude, yeah, but they need to be Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Good, fine. But it's just like, but not even that. Let me go a bit deeper. Cassian is the second main character, right?
Yeah,
But we've already talked about it. But he was just like, it was what the hell. He was just literally whatever the scene needed to be him to be. He needed to be. He kind of. I thought he died when he fell off trying to get the hard drive. He should have just stayed dead. Because he came back as I've got feels for you, Jin. Let's hug while we're dying. It's like, who the fuck is this guy all of a sudden? It wasn't the same guy 10 minutes before.
Can I just say something? If Jim was standing in front of me, I was that.
Yeah, I'm saying he jumped between a kind of lost soul to
But if he didn't come back,
Rogue, and then
Krennic wouldn't have got shot and he could not have escaped. Because I know Krennic, he kind of gets killed by the Death Star.
I have a very funny, like my own little thing I'll say in that, but what they could have done to do that. So what? Okay, and then the other thing, like you had Mon Mothma come back, and you know what was she really doing in this? She was just there talking.
No, she's
They could, but this is her introduction. They could have made her a bit more of a character. They could have given her a bit more bite. They didn't do that. You had Bail Organa come back, Jamie Smith, who's one of television's best actors, Emmy Award winner, whatever, and he just a brief cameo, and yeah, it's good. But he could have been doing all the Rebel Alliance scenes and stuff. They had some nameless motherfucker, but he doing the Jin. I don't know who this guy was. He wasn't even named in the film, and he was. Exactly.
Are you talking about Blue Leader?
Oh, the guy that was But who is he? Like, who's this guy?
Right, yeah.
You got so many established characters you could have doing the role, and they had some nobody doing. I mean, not like an actor. I mean, the character.
I like Ben Mendelsohn was great.
Was the guy that
yeah.
Credit. He was good. Yeah. He was excellent. But and then
a big shout out to Animal
other...
House, one of my favourite films. Have you seen it? Yeah.
What, the National Lampoon's movie?
No.
That's Animal House with Jim Belushi.
No, the one Animal Kingdom. Sorry, Animal Kingdom. My mistake. Animal Kingdom, the Australian film.
No.
But that was like one of his early films. Is brilliant in that film, and I've always been a fan of him.
He's always been good, and he's never got the credit that he.
No,
he's a good.
I'm so happy that he was in this.
He did a good job, but
he was
then
a good villain.
Okay, there are other things. I've got, like I said, Random Comms Officer. Black woman in lavish Lady Gaga dress. I don't know. She was quite interesting to look at, but she didn't have much to her.
Was she the one who's like, well, we had the fight?
Yeah, that was really corny.
But it's just like that scene entirely was just ridiculous.
The scripting was so bad. There was some
that's the reshoot scene. So it's just like they intentionally.
But you don't know if that's a reshoot.
No, it wasn't, because Jimmy Smith had to go back to do his scene.
They're always doing that.
Yeah, no, they always did it. But I'm saying they actually intentionally they could have done something else, but it was fine. There was like a round table scene. You got to see it was all fragmented. And Rebels actually as a series is really good because it establishes the Rebel Alliance is actually made of loads of different teams that don't see eye to eye. So this film kind of just solidified that it was still the case.
Fractured Unit.
It was Fractured Unit, yeah. Because at the end of the day, realistically, that is what we like. And then so I'm saying all these minor characters weren't really there. I mean, Admiral Akbar's fat cousin is what I've called him, but who the fuck was this guy?
Like, they should have.
Where was Akbar? Like, who the hell is this? No, it wasn't Akbar.
I was waiting for him to say the line.
It's a trap. Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's quite good. Yeah. But it's like they could have even done something cool. They had Admiral Akbar as like the side one, and then the main guy died or something, or they did a lightsaber through him. He's like, I will avenge you. It could have it's like they could have done something, but they didn't even do the most obvious thing. I don't know who the fuck that guy was. It wasn't interesting anyway. But it's cool. There was another fish dude, fine. But these are things, but the fact is, I'm remembering these characters more than the main characters. There were a whole bunch of them.
Because you like to complain about
stuff. What was the guy? I don't even know his name. The pilot that caused the whole thing, played by Riz Ahmed.
Bodhi.
That his name?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Bodhi, man.
Bodhi was cool.
From Four Lions, right, yeah.
He didn't have anything too.
I thought his scenes were quite good.
That's what he had to do. His scenes were good. I think he's the one that kept Jin and her crew together.
I think, he was.
Because he was.
It's like you go back to war, like you say, you go back to war films. There's always a lot of characters.
Yeah, I know.
All the way through.
That's maybe it's my styles. They really flesh out kind of worlds, and here they're just like snapshots, and that's I don't like.
Because it wasn't like you're used to the franchise structure, like where these characters are going to lead into this and that.
You'll spend time on Hoth. You'll spend time on Tatooine. You'll spend time on the Death Star.
Yeah, and then in the next chapter, your characters
because it's a frantic war film.
But it's one of the longest. But this thing is one of the longest Star Wars films. But it feels like I knew the characters the least, and that's my opinion. I mean, it's fine. But then, Darth Vader. Obviously, I said why they fucked him over. There's another thing. There's another little thing I just didn't like, but it wasn't. I was praising the ideas, but they went a bit too far with some of them. So the fact the Death Star is powered by kyber crystals, which is the nerdiest thing. If you played the old Republic, you spend a
But
lot of
that's
your
how
time
they
collecting
make the
these
things.
fucking crystals, and they power the lightsabers, right?
Okay.
But the fact that that powers the Death Star as well is very convenient.
Why? They're both laser-based weapons.
I know, but
And you
Yeah, it's
need
like
to
nuclear
mine
power,
a whole load of
I
kyber
just-
crystals to make a weapon that powerful.
Yeah, it's
It
got like
makes sense.
It's got a
I know.
strong.
And also they used it to explain why there aren't more lightsabers around the galaxy because they're all being mined for the Death Star. Yeah, I got it. I mean, that's capitalist spoiler there, but
it's like
yeah,
a nuclear weapon, isn't it? It's basically this what
yeah,
it
I'm
is.
saying I get it. But it's like
It's
strong
plutonium.
anti-nuclear, like
Very-
yeah, plutonium is actually I guess
power
it's
crystals
kind
are a bit different to plutonium, though.
but this
No,
is what
it's-
it's still an energy. It's a strong.
Okay,
Yeah,
energy source. And then
It's a parallel, like the Empire was a parallel to the Nazis when the original films were made.
well, no, to the British actually, the British Empire. Yeah,
okay, my last
Rebel Alliance is
my
the
last
Americans.
complaint, my last thing, and it's a very emotional one, and it's not
You're going to
quite
really upset me
true.
with this, aren't you?
There's no Chewbacca.
No. I'm glad. I'm glad you put it in. But they changed sort of what A New Hope
No, they
actually
didn't.
means. Because
No, they didn't.
I
had this argument with him on WhatsApp already.
I always
Yeah,
thought,
I've had this argument
I always
already.
thought the New Hope was Luke Skywalker, but it's either Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Rebels for some fucking reason is calling him the Hope, and so that's why, and in Bail Organa as well referenced him, and so did Leia, or it's the Death Star plans, and I'm like, poor fucking Luke.
No, it's not.
It's not Luke. It's not Luke.
What are you talking about?
The
Luke,
A New Hope isn't referring to Luke Skywalker.
it's referring to
The Death
Obi-Wan
Star
Kenobi.
plans and Obi-Wan Kenobi delivering them to that's the thing. That's not. And I've spent I'm 28 and I've spent good 24 years of my life. That's what Star Wars for. Thinking A New Hope was Luke Skywalker and it's not. And it's thrown.
I never read that into the title.
It's
That
thrown
movie
me
at all.
off.
But yeah,
And
but he was
actually-
the prophecy, right? They were both the prophet. The two
No,
of them.
well, Anakin was the
Anakin's
prophecy
the
to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, because he got rid of the Jedi,
But
and then
it's-
he killed
what-
the last Sith.
Now it's like I
get
can't
rid
look
of
at
the
New
Emperor.
Hope, and it has nothing to do with that anymore. It just means this is after Rogue One. This is the New Hope for the shit they're trying to do in Rogue One. It made me a bit sad.
No, because I never read that into the title.
Yeah, I'm saying if you didn't read it in the first place, then it's fine. But I'm saying like I had
never
always read it.
watched The New Hope and thought Luke Skywalker is the Hope that they're talking about. I
I
always thought Hope
No,
was
it
the
was just,
fucking.
don't think it is now anymore.
I thought it was Luke Skywalker.
I
No,
thought
I always thought it was the fact that
it
they
is.
culminated together and now they
Because-
have a force to
because-
fight
Yeah,
against.
like this is our
Yeah,
only
no,
hope.
Because the key phrase in the original one is "Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope." And
Yeah,
then
so
Luke
it's
is
always-
the new hope. Do you know what I mean? So
Maybe you
that's
might,
what I
you
mean.
might just say Disney there.
there you go.
Oh, another complaint is that the films don't match up properly. I said
Yes,
this to
they
match
do.
up, but it's not. It's
Oh,
just,
this is what I thought you were
this
going to go
is-
into.
This
This is what
not.
I thought he was
This is
originally
not. No,
about
the
to.
reason
Yeah.
why is I think there's a bit more to it. I assumed that A New Hope kicks off 20 minutes after this film, but they've said they didn't want to go straight into A New Hope because some motherfuckers have seen test screening and they said it literally ended with the opening shot of A New Hope but redone, and then it was going to zoom away. That's what the original test screening Star Wars leaks had on there, and they cut that. So I just thought what they're saying now is the Tanith 4 went around a little bit.
Yeah, he chased her.
Yeah, look, he went around. Darth Vader, it may have been weeks or months after that, and they just say it might not have been immediately. It could have been a while after that she ended up on
It
Tatooine.
lines up.
Then it would line up fine.
No, it
However,
lines
the
up.
dialogue still does not line up because the people on the Tanith 4, half their crew were massacred by Darth Vader, and they're acting like Darth Vader doesn't know their shit.
But that's on a different ship, though.
That was
No,
on
it's the same.
No,
It's
it's
the
not.
same
It's
ship.
a
No, 'cause-
different
no.
ship because you see
It
Princess
deta-
Leia's ship escape.
Yeah, it
And he's watching
detaches
it.
itself.
Fucking fly
Yeah,
away.
that is the Tanith 4.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It is the Tanith. It's exactly. It's the same.
No, because then he then
He's still on
approaches
this ship.
Leia's ship, and then he breaks into that in the
Yeah,
new home.
he chases.
He chases
Yeah.
it down.
So
He chases. Yeah, what originally?
The
watching
Death Star
Leia escape.
chases it down.
No, the Death
Which is-
Star. The Death Star.
It's
The
a
Star
Star
Destroyer,
Destroyer.
sorry, it chases it down because that's an opening shot
Yeah.
of A New Hope. So it does match. I don't understand.
does
how it
No,
match.
does-
so what happens is Darth Vader, he's obviously, and he was chasing down that gold thing, that gold disc, yeah? So he's cutting them down to get hold of the gold disc
Yeah.
that they have the plans downloaded onto, yeah? He knows that that's it. So then that was how it ended, right? They escaped. They jettisoned off the Tanith 4, which is Bail Organa's ship from Alderaan, jettisoned off of the big rebel ship, which has been destroyed at that point, and then does a runner to Tatooine to drop it off to Obi-Wan, so Obi-Wan can do the rest, right?
Yeah.
That's what the film actually alludes to. That's why she's looking for Obi-Wan in the beginning, because her dad told her to, right? You know this anyway, this is what it says.
Yeah.
However, so he massacred half of the crew of the Tanith 4. That's what we see the lightsabers going. That's the crew, Leia's crew.
Yeah, but you
There's
see
still crew,
Leia's
there's still
ship
crew
escape.
in there though.
Half of them are dead though, because they died. And you saw the other half get on the ship.
Yeah,
do the runner.
and then
And
they
that's
get
the
killed by
ship that they see.
stormtroopers.
Yeah, and those are the same characters. Even that guy is one of the guys. They cast someone and did whatever to make him look like someone from
Or
episode
maybe they're
4.
like clones, like Attack of the
Yeah,
Clones.
but what's happened? So I'm saying,
Or maybe they're twins.
yeah, but what happens
They only
is
employ twins.
Okay, but what happens- that's the same ship that is in the opening of A New Hope,
Oh.
and it's the same gold disc that she puts into R2D2. So yeah, and they change. That's the thing, but it's
They
just
haven't
because
changed
the dialogue still doesn't make sense.
I think
It
though,
does.
I think though for laymen, right, people who aren't fans going in, they're going to be like, oh, they would have forgotten about A New Hope already, so they needed that in there to say,
Yeah,
look, this
but
is
think- the
before A
problem
New
is,
Hope.
Darth
'Cause even
Vader's-
though it spells out as a Death Star plans, they would just think it's episode.
Yeah, but the
Most
problem
people
is
would
Darth
go in there
Vader's
thinking this is
first
episode
line,
8 or something.
but Darth Vader's first line in A New Hope doesn't actually make any sense. It makes him look like a bimbo. He looks like a dumbass.
Yeah, but they're going to remake
And
those
what-
ones anyway.
They will
eventually.
at some point, yeah.
So don't worry, they'll cover
Oh,
their
they're doing
tracks.
the Disney edition next year. They've done a 4K scan. It's coming out, 40th anniversary. Oh, yes.
So what
Well,
happens?
he's already told us what's
Yeah.
next.
So yeah, what happens, I guess we're going to see like multiple director's cuts down the line over the years, like we did with Blade Runner, etc. Right?
I hope not.
Studios version, then the director's version, then a final
Then
cut,
Ridley
then a
Scott's
final cut
first cut
after
from
the
the
final.
Gonna finish
second.
the session.
There's going to be another cut coming out into the
But that's got, maybe this will reach a little cult status, or maybe it will disappear in the wind. We have to wait a year to when the new Star Wars film comes out, and then maybe
Actually,
we
no,
should
it's been
do
pushed
maybe
back.
we do like,
No, new one. The next one hasn't.
and then maybe we should do a rerun of this one and then compare it to the other two.
Well, the thing is,
Like you said, with Force Awakens, we're all starry-eyed about that when it came
we
out.
might as well wait till December for that.
All right then.
I don't know. I don't think I see Force Awakens.
IMAX was good, but it wasn't.
That's what I see.
Okay, we're rambling then. So,
No, hang
so
on.
what's the next one then?
Our next episode will be a roundup of our thoughts of the movies of the year.
Okay,
And maybe some
our top
films we
5.
see
Yeah,
coming.
everyone
Yeah.
brings along their top 5 for the new year. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
tough work by that expression, but that DJ's got
I know I've already got my list.
I don't even have 5 films I like this year, so
5 films,
So
cinema
you'll
releases.
Each get 5 films from us in the next week or so. And as usual, if you like this episode, please share, subscribe, and comment below if you have any questions. Good night.
Bye.
Good night and good luck.